Welcome back to the race, you guys. My name is Tyler, and tonight is night number 2 of the World of Outlaws return to the Knoxville Raceway. Last night on night number 1, we saw JJR and the 41 team go back to victory lane at Knoxville, and CARSON MACEDO picks up his win. It's within 100 points of Brad Sweet. He's still in third, and David Gravel is still in second. Brad Sweet is still on top of the points coming into tonight's event. Brad and David were expected to be up front. Brad looked really good a few weeks ago when they went up there when Terre Haute got rained out, but he was in the middle of the pack and battling with David throughout the entire race, never really got up front. TSR teammates Kerry Madsen in the 14 and DONNY SCHATZ started on the front row and were up front all night long. I expect Donnie to be up front again tonight, still looking for win number 1 on the season and win number 300 in his career. Tonight, I expect the action to be ramped up a little bit because this will be the last time they're on track until August 11th. Let's get right into it, you guys. Night number 2 of the World of Outlaws return to the Knoxville Raceway. Let's go. Welcome back, you guys. So we got 39 cars at the track tonight, $10,000 on the line in a 25-lap feature, and we're splitting the field up in flight 1 and 2 again, and flight number 1 is stacked. We got guys like Brent Marks, Gio Scelzi, Brian Brown, David Gravel, CARSON MACEDO, Brad Sweet, DONNY SCHATZ, a whole host of heavy hitters in flight number 1, and then in flight number 2 we've got guys like LOGAN SCHUCHART, Jacob Allen, SHELDON HAUDENSCHILD, and Aaron Reitzel. Flight number 1 will be in heat race number 1 and 2. Flight number 2 will be in heat race number 3 and 4, and I got a feeling that 1 and 2 are going to be wild. Competing to get in those first 2 spots for the dash tonight, it's going to be unreal. Here's how qualifying finished up tonight. Remember, top 4 in each of these flights are going to start on the front row of their heat race. We got 4 heat races tonight, 8 laps each. Top 2 will go to the dash, so important to start up front, and then the top 5 will transfer into tonight's A main feature. We'll have a B main as well for 12 laps to set the field later on tonight. Fastest overall qualifier on the night was Gio Scelzi, and he starts on the pole of heat race number 1 and wins big, 2.5 seconds over Matt Jewell. In third was Brent Marks. Brent started deep in the field last night, starting a little bit further up tonight. Getting into the feature tonight also was Sam Haferteep Jr. and Craig Kinzer. Heat race number 2 is absolutely stacked. We've got 7 of the 8 guys that were in the dash last night. Kerry Madsen, DONNY SCHATZ, David Gravel, your winner last night, CARSON MACEDO, Brian Brown, Brad Sweet starts in 6th. Then we got Terry McCarl, Ayrton Jennington, and Joe Simbro all in heat race number 2. Gonna be wild. Continuing the war from last night was Kerry Madsen and CARSON MACEDO. They would duke it out for the first few laps, but CARSON MACEDO ultimately brings home the win in heat race number 2. Kerry Madsen will go to the dash with him and start up front again tonight. Finishing in third was Brian Brown. Brian actually charged up from the third row in the first lap to get into third ahead of David Gravel, who finishes in 4th. DONNY SCHATZ and Brad Sweet battle half the race, and Donnie comes home in 5th, and Brad Sweet will go to the B main tonight. Logan Schuchart was your fastest qualifier in Flight B and would pick up the win in this heat race. He looked so good at the end of the race last night, looking to carry over that success and start up front tonight. Finishing in 2nd was Aaron Reitzel. Aaron actually missed the dash last night, was buried in the feature, and came home with a top 10, so Aaron will start inside of the first 4 rows tonight. Wayne Johnson also gets in. Brock Zierfoss also gets in, and Justin Henderson slams the door on Linton Jeffrey to get into tonight's feature, coming to the checkered flag. PPM driving for Guy Fulbrook tonight takes off in heat race number 4, and Sheldon Haudenschild from row number 3 charges forward in the first few laps to get into the dash spot, holding off James McFadden. On lap number 3, Jacob Allen brings out the caution, battling for a transfer spot with Davey Heskin and McKenna Haskey, and we have a restart. On the restart, PPM takes off from Sheldon, running the bottom like a champ, looks so smooth, running the bottom all the way around, and wins this one by about 2 seconds over Sheldon Haudenschild. Finishing in third was J-Mac, James McFadden, and then McKenna Haskey and Davey Heskin will go into tonight's feature. The B main was 12 laps and would have Scott Boguski picking up the win. In second was the World of Outlaws Series point leader, Brad Sweet. He will start deep in the field tonight. In third was Ayrton Jennington, and coming home in 4th, charging up from 10th, was Casey Kane. Going into the final turn on the final lap, McKenna Haskey was in a transfer spot, slides down in front of Casey. Casey gets into her tail tank, she spins, and Casey goes on to the main event. And then we had the dash, and Kerry Madsen and CARSON MACEDO have battled all weekend long, last night in their heat race and in the feature, and then in their heat race tonight, and then in the dash tonight. They were starting 1 and 2, and CARSON starts on the pole of tonight's main event, winning this one big. He was running the top, and the car was absolutely on rails. The track is really nowhere near where it was last night. It's really wide. They actually did some track work. You never see that at Knoxville, so going to be interesting to see where the track goes tonight. Starting on the outside of the front row will be Kerry Madsen, still looking for a win on the season with the World of Outlaws. And also inside of the top 5 will be Aaron Reitzel. He started deep in the feature last night, charged forward, but starting way ahead of where he was last night. Gio Scelzi was in the top 5 all night long last night, starts inside of the top 5 tonight. Sheldon Haudenschild has never won a World of Outlaws event at Knoxville, starts in 5th. Look for Sheldon to be up around the top, ripping it. Going to be really fun to watch some of these guys deep in the field come forward, though. Your points leader, Brad Sweet, starts at the tail of the field after coming from the B. David Gravel didn't get into the dash spot tonight. Will start in the middle of the pack. Behind him, a few rows is DONNY SCHATZ. It's going to be a great night of racing. Let's get right into it. 25 laps around the Knoxville Raceway. 25 laps for $10,000, and on the start, CARSON MACEDO takes out to the lead, but then with 3 laps in the books, Brock Zierfoss gets upside down in turn 3 and 4, climbs out on his own, but a rough season so far for Brock Zierfoss and that 3Z team. On the restart, we'd have a double foul restart. Macedo takes out to the lead again, but Kerry Madsen stays right with him as Gio Scelzi and Sheldon Haudenschild are battling for 3rd. With 6 laps in the books, Macedo has masterfully led on the bottom and bobbles in turn 3 and 4, and Kerry Madsen gets around the outside to take the lead with 6 laps in the books and takes off. Sheldon Haudenschild gets around Gio Scelzi and gets into that 3rd place spot. Sweet and Gravel are still back in the middle of the pack. Schatz is up to 13th, and Logan Schuchart has climbed inside of the top 5. With 15 laps to go, Donny Schatz is up to 13th, and they're 3 wide in front of the leaders. Lap traffic is heavy, and everybody's having to decide where they need to go to get through the lap car. With 13 laps to go, Kerry's really struggling in lap traffic, and Macedo and Sheldon are right on his tail tank. We would go another 5 laps, and Kerry actually gets through traffic really well, taking off. Macedo and Sheldon are struggling. They're racing side by side and struggling in traffic. They actually get together with 7 laps to go in 1 and 2 and bang wheels, and Macedo gets underneath of Sheldon Haudenschild. Macedo had actually been trying to flip-flop lines, was up in turn 3 and 4 on the top and then on the bottom in 1 and 2, and he really wasn't making a whole lot of ground. But then when he gets underneath of Sheldon, he finds something in turn 3 and 4 and takes off and hunts down Kerry Madsen. 5 laps to go, he's closing in. 3 laps to go, he's right there, and Sheldon's actually sticking with him as well. With 3 laps to go, we got 3 cars under a blanket for the lead, and we got a lap car of Casey Kane right in front of them. 2 laps to go, and Kerry Madsen gets around Casey Kane. Macedo gets underneath of Casey Kane, coming to the white flag, and CARSON MACEDO gets underneath of Kerry Madsen on the white flag lap in turn 1 and 2, heads down the backstretch, comes to the checkered flag, and CARSON MACEDO picks up his 5th win of the 2021 season, his first time ever that he's gone back-to-back in his World of Outlaws career, and his 11th World of Outlaws win in his career as well. This is officially the best start for CARSON MACEDO ever with the World of Outlaws. Coming home in 2nd was Kerry Madsen, and in 3rd was Sheldon Haudenschild. Brad Sweet finished in the back of the pack, so this is really going to shake up the points. David Gravel was back there as well. What a weekend it was, though, for that 41 JJR team. Unbelievable. Phil Dietz proving that no matter who's behind that wheel of that car, he's going to make sure that they are comfortable and able to pass cars no matter where they need to go on the track. They did a ton of track work prior to the race tonight. The track was really widening out and actually took rubber in the 360 feature, but then Phil set up the car perfectly, and CARSON was able to do exactly what he's done all weekend long and just go anywhere he needed to go and sweeps the weekend at Knoxville. This is the last time the World of Outlaws will be at Knoxville until August 11th when it's the 60th running of the Knoxville Nationals. The World of Outlaws will be on track on June 17th, which is a Thursday, then Friday and Saturday, and next week is Houston. So a lot of racing coming up for the World of Outlaws. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, and share this content so that everybody can stay up to date on the World of Outlaws. And until next time, you guys, stay dirty.